Thank you to Simply Safe for sponsoring this video. More on that later. On Team Boost, and welcome to another VOODOO Mercedes video. Hopefully this turns into the first start video. Right now we're working on the fuel system. Devin, show me that hose, guy. That's a big thick feed line, 8,250 RPMs of V8. Be thirsty. So this NASA looking fitting here is going to enable us to run this braided line with the stock tank. This is going to screw right into the stock tank, and then we're going to go straight to just regular AN stuff. And all we really need to do is figure out the mounting on the pump there. How many liters per?
Oh man, I don't even remember. I bought this for my 911 probably like 5 years ago.
How many bananas per cubic meters is that, dude?
I mean,
at
are
least
we talking
40.
Metric bananas or are we talking imperial bananas? They're different,
they
slightly.
You don't want to mix the measurement up.
25.4 bananas per imperial banana. Just gonna very lightly tack this down.
Blind me, coach. Is it so loud?
It's so loud. Why is it extra loud right now?
So pretty much the only other component to the fuel system besides the pump is the pressure regulator, but this is Corvette regulator and filter, and it's 2-to-1, so there is technically no return line.
Yeah, just fuel gets supplied in here, and then from here it goes up to the engine, and this is the return line, and it just loops straight back. It doesn't go all the way to the engine.
Yep. So, and it's also a filter. So this is pretty much the easiest solution in the world for a custom fuel system. And we're just gonna nutsert it right over there, out of the way, and it's gonna.
And then our return will double back this way, go back in the tank right there. The pump's gonna supply it into the top there, and then we're gonna make a line that goes from here all the way forward. Oh, fluff.
Well, that's because Mercedes put a lot of time and money into making sure these things are quiet, so it's gonna just be packed with shit. So Sam's gonna make the dump.
Gotta make this point the correct direction.
What's all that?
Individually packaged pie cups.
Yes. Yeah, these are probably expensive.
Not cheap.
No, it's not cheap to do any of this. Believe it or not. Support your boys. Check out Boosted Shades. Bye.
Oh God.
Okay, so at this stage of the build, we are ready to pull the engine because we don't need it in its place for what we're doing right now. We're actually gonna move on to some, wiring stuff's not usually exciting, but James has come through with some really awesome goodies. This is a PDM, and with the wiring harness that we have, it plugs into this race pack kind of switch panel here, and you pretty much just program what you want each. It's like a single wire, and you just program what each of these switches is supposed to do. And then as far as gauges go, in a gauge cluster, we got this Holley Efi, really huge freaking display. The idea behind this is going to be to implant it behind a stock Mercedes like bezel, so it looks stock, but it's got the cool Holley thing that communicates with the computer. And then we have a bunch of plug and play harnesses for a Coyote, which all we should have to do for the VOODOO is change the firing order and the required fuel, and that should be at least good enough to get it starting, maybe moving. But to do any of this stuff, we're gonna have to get the engine out of here because we gotta do some oil pan shit. We'll get to that once the drivetrain's up. Hold on, we're caught right here, Devin.
Yeah,
Oh God, dude, what the f?
I tried to do it slow.
No, you didn't. Okay, nobody died, which is always a positive thing. So the oil pan stuff I was mentioning was this is just kind of temporarily slapped on here. We need to do something with the pickup, and then we need to actually put this on for real and make sure that it seals properly. And then there is no clutch in here right now, so we're gonna put that in for real. There's no flywheel.
This is basically the least engine-y engine that you could engine. So.
Yeah.
Like you said with the pickup, something with the pickup. It just doesn't have a pickup.
Oh, it's got no pickup.
There's currently no oil pickup in the oil pan whatsoever.
This is a non-functional thing. If you tried to turn it on, it would detonate itself.
It'd turn on probably, but it wouldn't turn on for long.
Doing the thing that nobody wants you to do, but everybody always does.
Pretty much.
Oh, God!
One way to get the rest of the coolant out.
This is something we didn't consider because we're... Watch out for the camera behind you. Oh, God, just move it. We did not consider that the balance of the engine is going to change
Significantly.
Cardboard doesn't absorb squat, James. Okay, we could have put this on an engine stand to do this, but instead we chose to raise it to a level in which it definitely will break through the floor, destroy itself, or kill one of us. Let's see what 18 grand gets you for looking pretty normal.
Looks like a car engine.
Oh, the engine's made out of engine.
Yeah, there's engine parts in there.
All right. So this little hole right here is custom drilled by Devin French. And reason being is that the new pickup bolts to the little standoff right there. And that's how that do. These expensive engines and their silly torque specs, 89 pound-inch, and then 45 degrees. Historically, every single oil pan that I've ever put on, I've just good enoughed it, but yeah, you want to do things right in these situations. Okay, oil pickup pan situation sorted. Go into the clutch and flywheel. Stock GT350 bits should do the job just fine. It's designed literally for this engine. Got our nice little twin disc crazy looking clutch going on, and then tranny can go back on, and then engine can be ready for when it's ready. So y'all haven't seen the exhaust that we made in the last video on the car. Temporarily dumping straight down to the ground. This is going to be how it is for the first test drive. But I mean, it's not a bad looking kind of like quickly fix it up header system we got going here.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really nice. The belts are good.
Jump without context, because last time none of this stuff was here. Just wanted to point out how sweet these ghetto dumps are that we're going to be running for first start, probably first drive. It's going to be just blowing gas just out the bottom of the car, which is pretty tight. We're bolting everything down right now so we can wire it. The fuel line is fuel lines. We're going to put the stock intake on and see what it do. Guys, this video is brought to you by SimpliSafe, a service that's super important to us. If you don't know what it is, it's pretty much a buildable security system. They have a huge range of sensors, cameras, and triggers, and all sorts of stuff. You could build the perfect security system for your needs, and it gets shipped directly to your door. Our reasoning for being interested in home and office security should be obvious. We have a warehouse full of expensive bits that would be difficult to replace and unfortunate to replace if they were to be stolen. In fact, numerous buildings in our area have been broken into. Having SimpliSafe is awesome because we can add to our system as our needs evolve. The addable aspect of SimpliSafe is awesome. There are a variety of things that you could add to your security system is actually crazy. Every door, every corner of your house, cameras, motion detectors, smoke detectors, water detectors, even freeze detectors for your pipes, they got it. Whatever you need, you can grow your system as your needs evolve over time, like I was just mentioning. Something cool that we're actually adding to our house is the 140-degree outdoor wireless camera. What makes it unique is instead of having to plumb ridiculous wires throughout your entire property, it's wireless and the battery life is long, and that's a really cool thing worth checking out. Installation is super simple and can be done in just a couple of hours. You don't need a professional to come to your house, and this is going to save you a ton of time and frustration. One of the easiest things and most important things in our opinion to install was the video camera, which has live feed and it's actually recordable. You can see directly into the places that you care about, like our shop, and you can see if somebody's taking your really cool stuff. And every system comes with an interactive monitoring service, which will alert the authorities if any of your sensors are tripped. Guys, we actually have a good offer for this promotion. It's actually pretty significant. Visit www.simplisafe.com/teamboosted to learn more and get at least 30% off your SimpliSafe security system. And with that all wrapped up, thanks again to SimpliSafe. Let's get right into the first start video. Squish. Did we clean those first? Okay, they've just been like kicking around the floor for read the label, plug the thing. Easy. So Devin, what's our first problem that we've encountered with the system here?
They use different coil plugs, and the worst part is that alignment slot right there is just slightly further over.
That's so dumb.
It's the exact same plug otherwise. That is the dumbest fucking thing. Thanks, Ford.
The solution here is to snip the stock ones off of the stock harness. And then these are just, well, I mean, this is a fuel injector plug. This is the same thing. It's going to be 2 wires. So, I mean, all we really have to do is cut the old ones off and splice the new ones in. Alright guys, you'll notice it's a new day probably based on the changing in lighting and stuff like that. One of the only things that I could, well, there's probably several things I could fault about the Terminator system, but it is very difficult to integrate like new tunes and laptops and stuff. Like they don't provide you with cables that you need or thumb drives that you need, and the SD card system kind of sucks.
I'll tell you exactly what it is. Most ECUs have like an easy way to plug like a micro USB into the computer. You have to buy a $50 cable from Holley to do that.
Luckily, Sam's ruined another car, so we've got this.
That cable costs $50, and that's a travesty.
The other thing that we wanted to make this process easier is we didn't want everything plugged in at once just to test the ECU. So James built this, what looks like to be a bomb.
It looks really bad right now, but honestly, we 3D print a slightly better one.
But, you know, you got your fuel pump and your start button, and now we can just turn the ECU on by itself. And it's functional. It's covered in super glue, or not super glue, hot glue, which is, you know, what you can use to make stuff like this. We weren't able to get the throttle pedal communicating, but that's because the base tube that's on the Terminator is a LS, so it's looking for an LS throttle body. And obviously, this is Coyote throttle body. So now we got...
Probably doesn't even have a tune on it.
We need a tune on it for this to work. That's what we're doing right now. I believe it is time. You know, these first starts, you never know what's gonna happen.
If it revs up really high immediately, just shut it down. Is that fuel on?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any fuel pressure.
We had our fuel pressure regulator plumbed up backwards because we had switched the feed and the return side of it to the same size. It was easy to have them mixed up and not know about it. And
Nobody checked. We just all assumed what the way it was going to go. Pump it first. That sounds good.
oh, there you go.
I don't hear any hissing. I don't see anything under here. We good on the engine? Okay, if it revs up really high, immediately shut off. I'm not going to hit the pedal. Sounds like timing's no good.
Sounds like timing's out.
So that time it didn't start because the coil harness is on the wrong side.
They're both the same length, and it's really easy to just drape them over, and so we got 5 here and 1 here.
But it tried backwards, so I mean, this is a good sign.
Engage! Release, Mike.
Traditional. Woo! So we know it works. We're gonna give it a good old rev in a minute. We're just gonna stop this aggressive oil leak that it has.
Yeah, it was like all the oil coming out right there, so that's no good to run it for too long.
All right, if we just put one of these on here, it'll work.
Yeah, put a worm gear on
It'll
it.
just clamp evenly.
Ready to go.
So the throttle pedal's not working.
Running on 8, I don't think I didn't. Oh, you know what?
So notice on that last one, we weren't able to rev it, and the solution to that was super stupid. The brake lights were on, And
No, there's a red wire on the drive-by-wire harness that goes to the brake light switch, and that was just jumper to power.
so with the brake lights enabled, it limits your throttle input to like a few percent. So we eliminated that as a thing, and we're ready to give it some rev.
Ready?
One more. Let's go. Hell yeah.
It's very intimidating sitting right here because it vibrates your chest a lot.
Dude. All right, boys, that is definitely a good place to leave it. Devin, pick a video winner for the giveaway. If you guys aren't familiar with the channel, we give away stuff from boostedchids.com every single video. Even if you don't win, check out boostedchids.com. I'll tell you guys how to win right after Devin picks the winner.
All right, this video's winner is Eric Inuk.
All right, hit us up at Team Boosted at boostedchids.com or through any of our social media pages. We'll get back to you and ship you something. If you guys want to win, all you got to do is like, subscribe, and leave a comment on the video. You could comment anything you want, but we ask you guys questions, get the juices flowing. Should we leave it straight piped, or would you guys like to see a full exhaust, or maybe a combination of both with maybe an electronic cutoff? Who knows?
Nice.
I personally like the mufflers on the 240, but I mean this thing is a whole different animal. So
Or a combination of both, full length on one side, straight pipe on the other side.
So it sounds like an S2000 and then a stock Civic having a fight.
leave your thoughts on the car, comment anything you want, or answer the question. Like and subscribe, and you guys are eligible to win the giveaway.
As always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
If you guys have made it this far, you must be a true fan, and we appreciate you. Once again, this video was sponsored by Simply Safe, and it would mean a lot if you could actually visit our link. It's simplysafe.com/teamboosted. And, likes and subs are always appreciated. And also, Boosted Chids funds a lot of the projects here. So if you want to take it a step further, just check out boostedchids.com. Like Devin said, we'll see you next time. Hopefully, we'll be driving the GT350 Mercedes soon. And you can expect the Datsun to be back on the road. Thanks for watching.